A camera rolls as a dog is abandoned on a West Fargo street. Topping our news at 10, the latest on the dog and on the search for a person in this video.
Plenty of work to be done to get ready for a pontiff's visit. An update on the planning for the Pope's September trip to D.C. And just in time for Betty Bye. What foods give you the best chance at a peaceful, easy sleep?
Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
Pretty solid piece of evidence for investigators to go on. A woman seen dumping a dog. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. After we posted surveillance video on our website and social media today showing someone abandoning a dog in the middle of a West Fargo neighborhood, police say that the owner came forward and a suspect is cooperating with authorities.
Well, Valley News Team's Bradford Eric reports on how this happens a lot more than many people realize.
I got a call from West Fargo Police Department saying that he had actually been abandoned, and they just wanted to clarify that that was the same dog. And I was like, really? This dog was abandoned? Because he doesn't act like a dog that's been abandoned.
Nearly a month ago, this furry four-legger was left in a West Fargo neighborhood. You can see he just scampers away. The dog was eventually picked up and turned over to a pound in West Fargo.
And what they do is they take in the strays, they hold them for 3 to 5 business days depending on the city, and then they, after that, they're released to rescues or they're euthanized depending on the animals.
That's how Homeward Animal Shelter got involved. They had no idea of Serrano's wild story. West Fargo police had no leads until
today. None of them had panned out, so we released it to the media. Shortly after that, we received a phone call from the original owner of the dog claiming who it was, and that she was the one that did it and wanted to get it over with.
Abandoning an animal in North Dakota is against the law. That means this lady, police won't release her name yet, could face several $1,000s in fines and even jail time. Investigators say they have been in contact with the suspect and that she is cooperating. With piercing blue eyes and light and dark chocolate fur, it's a wonder why anyone would abandon him. In Fargo, Bradford Eric, Valley News Live.
Homeward Animal Shelter says that they already have a number of adoption applications for the year-old Serrano. He was sick when they came to them, and the shelter says their biggest goal right now is to get Serrano healthy and into a happy home. Well, if you ever need help uncovering fraud or corruption or anything in your community, call our whistleblower hotline and we'll do our best to get to the bottom of it. Call 701-237-6576. Leave your tip with us, and a member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work exposing the truth.
Today we talked to a man who is a very lucky individual. Kenneth Swanson of rural Bemidji survived a propane gas explosion at his house last week. It completely shredded his home. He's currently recovering from his injuries in Minneapolis. His wife wasn't home when it happened. However, the blast did kill Swenson's 3 dogs. He says his experience of nearly falling out of a helicopter during his military service in Vietnam was nothing compared to this blast. Kenneth credits his survival to a higher power.
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't think it was luck because, I mean, I'm thinking of some kind of, I just call it God. I should be dead and I'm not.
Kenny works at as a rural mail carrier. If you'd like to help the Swensons get back on their financial feet, a benefit fund has been set up. You can mail your contribution to Kenneth Swenson Benefit in care of Wells Fargo Bank, 122 3rd Street, Northwest, Bemidji, Minnesota. Zip is 56601. You'll also be able to find this information and more on this story online at valleynewslive.com.
Pope Francis will make an unprecedented address to Congress on September 24th. Washington Bureau Chief Jacqueline Policastro has the details on the pontiff's visit.
Pope Francis formally accepted an invitation from House Speaker John Boehner. This is the first time a pope or religious leader who serves as a head of state has ever addressed Congress. That's according to the House Historian's Office. Pope Francis was elected to lead the Roman Catholic Church in 2013. He will also visit the United Nations in New York and host a Catholic rally in Philadelphia this fall during his first visit to the United States as Pope. House Speaker John Boehner is Catholic. He said this about the Pope's visit.
We're humbled that the Holy Father has accepted our invitation and certainly look forward to receiving his message on behalf of the American people.
House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi is also Catholic and said she's honored that Pope Francis will address Congress, telling us Pope Francis has renewed the faith of Catholics worldwide and inspired a new generation of people regardless of their religious affiliation, to be instruments of peace. One Pew Research Center study says about 31% of congressional lawmakers are Catholic.
The Pope is also expected to meet with President Obama at the White House during his trip. His staff says the president is certainly looking forward to a visit from the Pope. Reporting in Washington, I'm Jacqueline Policastro.
And today, Pope Francis made quite an interesting admission to a teenage student. While attending a Google Hangout with several disabled children, Francis confessed he doesn't know how to use a computer.
There's word tonight out of the Twin Cities that Minnesota has stopped taking tax returns prepared through TurboTax. The move, as reported in the St. Paul Pioneer Press, comes after hearing evidence of potential fraud involving multiple state taxpayers. Minnesota's revenue commissioner said tonight that at least 2 taxpayers were told that their returns had already been filed when they tried to file on TurboTax. Of the 267,000 Minnesota tax returns already filed, a couple thousand returns have been flagged in order to review them. Now, the story went on to say that earlier today, Utah reported 28 fraudulent returns were discovered by residents using third-party filers, and that 18 states had similar problems.
I-29 northbound to eastbound ramp of I-29 and 94 will be temporarily closed tonight for repairs, so be careful if you're traveling. The closure began at 10 p.m. and is expected to last about 3 hours. During the closure, detour signs will be in place as drivers will need to take a different route. For more information about construction projects, you can always go to nd.gov. A new 4-way stop was put in today near the 12th Avenue Bridge. The stop has been installed at the intersection of 12th Avenue North and Elm Street. Traffic counts are expected to increase slightly when the toll is lifted on the bridge. More information regarding the lift of the toll is expected to be announced in the coming days.
According to the Minnesota Department of Public Safety, last month was one of the safest on state roads since 1984. A total of 9 people lost their lives in January of 2015, crashes making it a record low for the month of Minnesota. The record lows for January, 16 back in 1991 and 2013, 15 in 2011, and 9 in 2015. The Towards Zero Deaths program has played a significant role in saving lives and reducing serious injuries on Minnesota roads. Education, enforcement, and emergency medical services have helped reduce fatalities by nearly 41% since recent years. One of the nation's largest insurance companies has been hacked. Anthem calls it a very sophisticated cyber attack. It happened last week. Hackers gained access to personal information, including birth dates and social security numbers, for tens of millions of customers, former customers, and employees, including Anthem's CEO. The company, formerly known as WellPoint, manages Blue Cross Blue Shield and its plans in more than a dozen states.
It is not only breathtaking, but mind-bending in its extent and potential impact, and potentially heartbreaking for consumers who may be affected.
The FBI is still investigating this case.
Breakups are not an easy thing for anyone, but especially for teenagers. And a new program called Breakups 101 will help Grand Forks high schoolers deal with the heartbreak. It's not a shock that internet and social media have changed the ways that people interact and even break up. Leaders of the program say parents need to talk with their kids about having healthy breakups, just like they talk about safe sex.
Folks start talking to their teens about wearing a seatbelt when they drive, looking both ways when they cross the street, but it doesn't really occur to them to talk about healthy relationships. And if you do, it can drastically change the interactions that your young people will have when they go off into a relationship.
The Breakup 101 program will start tomorrow in schools for sophomore students in the Grand Forks area. To see helpful tips for parents and everyone, click on this story on valleynewslive.com.
Here's some